Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Before we get into the next video, live stream, depending on what time it is that you're watching this, if you like the information and content, hit that subscribe button, click that little bell icon if this is your first time here, or you can click on that picture of me and my beautiful wife down in the corner, and that'll get you subscribed too. So, with that being said, let's get down to it. It is Sunday. It is 4:26. For those of you who don't know, 426 is the Hemi engine that was put into Dodge vehicles. So you smokers get 420. Us race car drivers, we get 426. So anyway, a nice little addition to this live stream and video and whatever you want to call it is I have company with me. Say hi, honey.
Hello.
Here's my beautiful wife. I actually find, well, I got her in Torsten's opening. So, but anyway, let's get down to, let me flip the camera around here for you guys. Bear with me. Go. This is Lake Elizabeth. It's about a mile long. It's actually not 3 lakes. It's usually 1, but because of the drought, it was bone dry 2 years ago. But I would like to share a little story with you about the monster of Lake Elizabeth. Yes, even up here in the high desert, the heat gets to people, and we come up with some pretty odd stuff. But anyway, I thought it was pretty cool. So again, that's Lake Elizabeth. It is what's called a sag pond. It's not a man-made lake. It is actually a natural lake. And if you can see, I know it's kind of hard to see in the camera, but the first part of the lake, which is right here, you can see there's a little, kind of like an island or a berm that's been put up. That was actually put up by the golf course, the people that own a golf course up here, so they could use the water from the lake to water the golf course, which is directly in front of me, right there. Well, that's the lower 9, the upper 9 are behind us. So, of course, the county said no way, and because you can't restrict access to water once you're in the water, they made them make a cut through, and now you can get through. But anyway, so let's get down to the monster of Elizabeth Lake. And here's the story. There are at least 10 different Elizabeth Lakes in California. This one is in LA County near Palmdale, and it's perhaps the oldest one in the state. Let me shut my car off here, sorry. Let's keep going. Legend states that the devil himself created the lake and placed one of his own pets inside. If you swim deep enough, eventually you will find a secret passage directly to the underworld, which isn't entirely far-fetched, as the lake lies directly over the San Andreas fault line. From this lake, a horrible monster came to be. That's why it's a sag pond. In between the 2 hillsides, the one that I'm parked on and one on the other side, is literally the San Andreas fault. It runs directly through the center of that lake. So, let's continue. Although there have been no reported sightings since the 1880s, there were a few from 1830 all the way up to 1886. The creature has been described as having bat wings, the neck of a giraffe, the head of a bulldog, 6 legs, the length of at least 50 feet, and emit a horrible, nauseating stench. I used to live up here, and our lake smells pretty good. The other lake, Lake Hughes, that one stinks, but anyway, let's keep going. Several ranchers and owners of land around Elizabeth Lake abandoned or sold their property at losses to get away from the beast. Supposedly, Spanish missionaries dubbed the lake Laguna del Diablo, and Indian legend also supports the rumors that the devil created the lake. The first sighting was by a Spaniard, Don Pedro Carrillo, in the 1830s. He built a ranch on the shores of the lake But one day, a fire of unknown origin burnt every single structure down, all in one single night. In the 1850s, American settlers tried to establish themselves near the lake, but screams at night, unnatural noises, visions, and other experiences that they would not relate drove them away from the fertile soils. Then came Don Chico Lopez and Don Chico Vasquez. He established an entire ranch along the lake, and for several months everything was fine. The monster did not show itself. Then the workers reported livestock and animals disappearing. This was followed by a giant winged shadow passing over the house each and every night. Soon the residents had multiple sightings of the beast. Bullets reportedly bounced off the creature's hide. As ranch hands quit and animals kept disappearing, the owners were forced to sell, and the land was eventually sold and the ranch abandoned. Miguel Leonis purchased the ranch next. Leonis was a Basque immigrant, a large and burly man who controlled a large amount of land throughout Southern California. He ruled over it like a dictator, and squatters were often severely dealt with through either lawsuits or armed force. Sorry, I'm trying to read too. Several months after he purchased the ranch on Elizabeth Lake, the creature began eating his animals as well. But Leonis would not have it. He lay in wait for the beast, and then savagely attacked it when it emerged at night. As bullets bounced off its tough hide. Sorry, it's a little breezy. As bullets bounced off its tough hide, he engaged it closer, beating it with his rifle butt across the nose and then pouncing on it in the eye. So taken back by the ferocity of the attack, that the creature retreated back to the lake and lay there resting, healing its injured eye. Eventually, it fled from the lake, heading east towards Arizona. The tale, however, doesn't quite end there. The spawn of the devil that inhabited Elizabeth Lake has also been linked to the area around Tombstone and Thunderbird photograph. The Thunderbird photograph is also a possible picture taken a very long time ago, presumably in early 1890, of several cowboys and ranchers holding up what appears to be a pterodactyl. The beast was apparently seen flying in the area and was lured by some ranchers into a trap in the Huaracha Mountains west of Tombstone, where they killed the creature. Some stories link the monster of Elizabeth Lake to the monster of the old picture of the pterodactyl, stating that they are the same creature. The picture, of course, also has several stories surrounding it. Scholars aren't even sure if the picture even exists, let alone of its authenticity. The picture appeared in the newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph, and showed several cowboys and ranchers in front of a dead pterodactyl whose wings were pinned to the wall of a barn. The picture soon disappeared. Regardless of if the creature fled to Arizona, and regardless of if it was killed by if it was killed west of Tombstone, since the day that Leonis beat up the devil's pet, Elizabeth Lake has mostly been quiet. Speculation has long existed on that the monster did exist. Additionally, if it did not exist, no one can draw a conclusion as to why several Spanish dons, American squatters, and Wild West ranchers would go to such lengths to avoid such a fertile area. If the tombstone story is to be believed, the monster outlived its attacker, Miguel Leonis, by only 1 year. Leonis eventually died in a strange wagon accident in 1889. As he wasn't very well liked, rumors of his murder spread afterwards, and his wife, sorry about that, his and his wife's ghost still haunt the Leonis adobe in Calabasas. So there you have it. A Sunday with my beautiful wife. We are at Lake Elizabeth. We're on Montello Drive. I used to live out here, so it's a nice area. And there we go. See, we're keeping our social distancing too. I know the camera looks kind of odd, but it's a really big car. I can't. Well, there. Well, Anyway, sorry I didn't get into the chat. I'm just out having some fun, giving you guys some video to watch and so on and so forth. And we're going to head over to Shea Castle, which is another landmark out here, where apparently very horrible and deadly events have occurred. So, with that being said, I'm going to end the stream here, and we're going to head over to Shea Castle, or the Castle of Death, and then we're going to check out some poppies. So, thanks for watching, you guys. I'll be back in a few minutes, and let's see what happens next. Until then, be safe, be professional, keep it real, stay healthy. There you go. That was pretty cool.
I'm looking.